Bienvenidos al segundo podcast de los Realest guys.
Ooh, Spanish.
Shut up and sit down.
Well, with that being said, we are back again, episode 2 of the Realest Guys podcast. You know, the podcast that is definitely not soft.
Not soft at all.
I am your host once again with you, the hostess with the mostest, Mario. And with me, again, Josh, Too Good Crocker.
Too Good Crocker.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How's your last week been?
It's been all right. It's been all right. I could tell you one thing. Last night was a lot better than last Monday night.
Yeah.
I can promise you that.
Sure was, for sure.
Monday Night Raw kicked off real big. We had the segment with our 6 apparently now. We forgot about the 7th guy. He got lost somewhere out in the fields.
Yeah, non-existent.
Yeah, but it's probably for the best. I mean, let's be honest. KO needs all the spotlight he can do to shine, just like he did last night. You know, you got 6 guys at the top of a ladder. Little weird start. But KO definitely shined through the most. I mean, he's still Bay. I told you guys last week. Still Bay this week.
So, I hate that word.
I will beat that to the ground.
Yeah, I know.
That being said, I mean, seriously, that opening promo was pretty awesome. Yeah. Till Teddy Long came out. I actually was really enjoying it. They got the point across. Owens really stole it. I mean, he took over and commandeered that spotlight. Showing the WWE Universe what fans of his from back in the indie days, which I kind of count myself as one of them, knew all along. And that is, if WWE gives him the ball, he's going to run with it.
Right.
You know, his little quip about Sami Zayn, well, we're all stars up here, well, except for Sami. You know, I love the fact that they're going to be locked in this eternal battle of good versus evil. Is I don't know. I words can't describe the man crush that I have for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, you definitely have one. I mean, I thought the segment was good. You know, I thought it was weird with the ladders, so I was kind of apprehensive when it first started. But when these guys started throwing barbs at each other, you know, it was hilarious. I found myself cracking up. You know, from Jericho's deal about this match is around because of me, and Cesaro calling him out.
Yep.
You know that you haven't even won.
Well, he won the first one. Or was it the first or the 6th?
I
don't know. All I know, and the only thing I learned from that segment, he's from Winnipeg. You idiot.
You idiot. You stupid idiot. Yeah, so, no, it was solid. Yeah. And then, like you said, Teddy Long, he came out of the blue.
It's the Mac Militant.
Yeah. It was kind of strange, but you know what? I mean, it added some, you know, not everybody was a huge fan of it, but me, I thought it was interesting, add a little comedic factor to it.
Ultimately what it was plugging SmackDown on live. That's what it was. I mean, he said that 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you know. I think he said it as many times as the different type of matches that he listed that he would put the guys in.
That's right, play up.
I'm really upset. He didn't say, we're going to have a 6-man tag match against The Undertaker. You know, that was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah, the Undertaker. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that being said, it was a good start, and I think it was actually I don't know if they were just trying to distance themselves from last week, if people kind of weren't too into it, but quick promo right into the first match. Cesaro and Jericho. Solid match. Was it a technical masterpiece? No. But I think it was a really good match. It was a great Raw match to begin with. And my favorite part about it, honestly, was just the fact that it ended on a sharpshooter submission.
Yeah.
You know, seems like, first of all, that's a legacy move. You know, and I don't think WWE shows it as much respect as it should, or as it did in the past. Realistically now, I mean, Tyson Kidd's using it. He's on the shelf for the foreseeable future. Natalya was using it, and she hardly wins.
Yeah, she doesn't win enough.
So it was nice seeing somebody tap to the sharpshooter.
It was good.
Plus, I mean, it makes Cesaro more credible going into the match, into Money in the Bank, which is huge. You know, you see Kevin Owens, he was on fire for a little bit. Ambrose is going to be doing Ambrose things. Sami Zayn's going to be pushed as the underdog. Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho. He's was the first undisputed champion. He doesn't need any more than what his legacy speaks for. And personally, I'm not a fan of Mr. Del Rio, but what else? But it establishes some credibility for Cesaro, which is great. And he was getting some reactions there to some of his moves. I mean, not just the Cesaro swing, but I mean, the crowd's really starting to feed off of Cesaro. And I think that's great. He's definitely an underutilized talent that going forward, I hope this really builds up into something.
Yeah, I would agree. I think people are starting to come around. I mean, everybody has known that he's a master worker in the ring. I mean, the guy knows his way around the squared circle. But the finish with the sharpshooter was fantastic. I love it when he does this the superplex from when Chris Jericho was outside the ropes. I love it when he does that. Just shows feats of strength. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. I'm still not 100% sold on with the suit and the glasses looking like Hitman or the Transporter 3. I don't know. I think he's still kind of feeling out what that part of his character is going to be. But he's definitely getting over with the fans, especially in the ring, and definitely making his ring work count.
Yeah. But I mean, that being said, he's come a long way from saying hello in 5 different languages. When he first came out on the scene, he's come a long way from yodeling. I don't know if you remember the yodeling gimmick, but oh my goodness, that was terrible. And I mean, he did all right up there on the ladder. He like you said, he called out Jericho on the fact that Jericho never won a Money in the Bank match. He showed his boys. I think we should be expecting some big things from Cesaro here within the next couple of years.
Sure.
Anything else you want to touch on in the match?
No, I think and just again, I think it was a good move that they that Chris Jericho put him over for sure. He's experienced, been around for forever, and he's not afraid to put over guys that he knows has talent and has a future in the company, and in Chris Jericho. And so, I think it was good.
I like you bring that up because I got a question for you on that one. Then Jericho comes in, and he lost to Ziggler. Tried to put Ziggler over. Yeah, Ziggler didn't really do much after that. Comes in, puts over CM Punk. CM Punk didn't really need to be put over. I think it helped Punk a little bit, but realistically, probably not as much as a win over, let's say, John Cena would. Now he's here and he's putting over the younger talent. He put over Dean Ambrose. He put over AJ Styles. Do you think that by Jericho coming back and putting so many guys over, that kind of makes the fact that you got to win over Jericho kind of null and void a little bit, or how do you see that?
I see your point. Absolutely. But I don't think it dilutes it one bit, because I mean, you look at, for example, putting over AJ Styles. So a lot of the time when you see guys that Chris Jericho puts over, most of the time big things do come, and I look at AJ Styles in recent terms. Chris Jericho put over AJ Styles. Now, the little strange hiccup with him losing to Kevin Owens, fair and square, I'm not really sure what the booking was of that, but again, like we discussed last week, WWE likes to pretend things didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, AJ Styles, from doing that, AJ Styles is in the main event picture. He's in the title shot picture, or he went to that. Now he's gonna head with John Cena. But you look at Cesaro. I think it's a good path. I mean, putting over Cesaro. Cesaro is then going to go. I was heard it. Someone actually, I can't remember what it was, I was reading or listening to, that they did mention that, Cesaro's in a position to kind of be in the same boat. Chris Jericho putting him over, going to the Money in the Bank, to where he can be in a position to be in a world title scene. Does it happen a lot? Yes, but I think Chris Jericho, I love Chris Jericho. I think he's done great things for the business, and I think anytime he gets a chance to put somebody over, I think it's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, I also think it's on the person that he's putting over too, what they do with that opportunity. Because they could,
Fandango.
They can fandango.
Yeah.
So and so it's that's a long answer, but
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I think there.
And then coming out of there, and people who putting people over, Swagger, who's kind of become like the resident, American patriot who's going to overcome all the foreign heels. I mean, that's what it is. But loses to Rusev. Typical heel move. I mean, we don't really need to spend too much time on the match if you don't want to. Just a couple of things. Rusev, via count out decision. I personally thought it was a good heel move. Go out there, that double clothesline or whatever spot it was that they ran into each other. He was able to go back into the ring after pushing Swagger away. Go back in the ring, get the decision victory like that, and when Titus O'Neil comes out, try and clean his house, he hightails it. I mean, I just think that's classic heel, and Rusev's pretty good with that. We'll move on. Next little bit was the Seth Rollins promo. They used parts of the 24 documentary that they shot on him. I just got one question for you. Why is Seth Rollins a heel? I mean, help me, explain that to me. I don't get how a guy who, turned on the Shield. I get that. At that point in time, okay, we're booing Seth Rollins. I can understand that. Why now on his comeback? He's just a man after his title. A title that, like he said, and this is the truth, he never lost. Never lost the title. Had to vacate it because of an injury. Busted his behind to get back in a quicker time frame. We're seeing images of him annoyed and frustrated and angry that somebody else took his spot. And all he wants to do is come back and take his spot back. Why are we booing this man?
I don't know. I am in the same boat as you. I think that this would have been a great opportunity for him to take his babyface turn. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He comes back, like you said, in amazing time for the type of injury that he had.
John Cena-esque.
Yeah, I mean, just freakishly fast. So he comes back. Not only that, they have Raw, where he says he doesn't need his fans, so on and so forth. And then after Raw, they show a documentary that shows and details his recovery. How can you not cheer for a guy like that? Mm-hmm. And so I think they might be keeping him heel at the moment because he was such a good heel when he left.
Yep.
Did an amazing job. He was annoying as all get out, which is what he's supposed to be. And he was fantastic as a heel. I just... that's my only thinking or thought of why they would keep him a heel is because he's such a good job. He did such a good job of it as a heel before. It would just... I think it would have made the WWE Universe satisfied, giving him his face turn.
Well, I mean, taking out the fact that Jersey is a smarky environment for these type of shows, generally the East Coast is in general, that pop that he received the next night, and I think they were in Baltimore after Extreme Rules, if I'm not mistaken, for Monday Night Raw. That pop, I mean, that was definite. That was ridiculous. And they were smart about, took all your fan letters and I burned them. That was a good way. I understand why they want to position him as a heel. There's not too many top heels. But if you're going to position him as that, there's no need to be showing a promo or a documentary portraying him in a much better light.
Right.
It's just inconsistent.
Even in the promo, he even mentioned, I don't dislike Roman Reigns or something. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You want to, if you're a heel, by all means, talk trash about your opponent you're going to be facing. The most he did at that was at the very end. He was like, I'm going to prove that I am better than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And that was that. But the booking is kind of strange. Mm-hmm. See where it goes, especially with the brand split coming up. I think there's a lot of question marks, even with people's current positions as baby faces, as heels, that could possibly be changed in the brand split. So, who knows? There's unlimited opportunity.
Fair enough. And I like the fact that you just mentioned here that there's question marks as to who's face, who's heel. Because that brings me to something that I realized during the next segment, which was John Cena, AJ Styles promo, which, before we even get into any type of analysis, fantastic promo. Just, I mean, I loved it from beginning to end. The attitude, just the intensity that John brought to his side of it, and not to harp on AJ Styles or anything, but John Cena, when he's met his match, when he knows that he's got to step his game up, credit where credit is due, man. That man could cut a great promo.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. But one thing that I noticed on that promo is that, yeah, AJ's the heel in the sense that he had to align and he was like, yeah, shake my hand, bow, punch you in the face type deal. But nothing he said in that promo was necessarily heel-like. And nothing in his promo necessarily made John Cena come out looking like a face. And vice versa. John Cena's promo wasn't so much about, hey, I'm the good guy, I'm conquering. It was more, dude, all you're saying to me is the same thing that Punk said to me, that Daniel Bryan said to me, that everybody has said to me, that I can't wrestle, but here I am, let's go. You know, nothing like, oh, man, you turned your back on the WWE universe. None of that. It was just straight lace. We're going to get in the ring. We're going to have a match. This is what the fans want. Let's just give the fans what they want. You know, and I thought that was pretty interesting that neither one really played up a face-heel role during that promo. I don't know if you caught that or, you know.
I think it's a little bit, I think a little bit differently, just because John Cena, he is that face. The guy's not changing. They make too much money off the guy, so everybody just knows he's a face. When he gets serious, he also turns into his old hip-hop John Cena ways, which is fine. I mean, the guy can tear it up on the mic. As far as the words are concerned, no, they weren't face-heel words, but it's more than just the words. You look at the mannerisms, the facial expressions, the disgust that AJ Styles had on his face during that, and not only that, the fact that they tried to triple team him, the fact that there was a shot out of nowhere last week and they started beating up John Cena. So I think in those it's definitely maybe not in specific words, but there's just so much around it that AJ Styles is taking this heel thing, and I think he's actually doing a fantastic job.
Yep.
I honestly, and for everybody, this might make people mad and whatever, I did not follow AJ Styles as much as a lot of people did, maybe even as much as you did. But I've heard about him, and I am familiar with his work. I'm not an expert, but there's a lot of people I'm reading and watching and listening to stating that I don't know if AJ Styles and a heel turn will be good for him, but I think that he's doing a phenomenal job.
No pun intended.
Holla. And he was going blow for blow with John Cena on the mic. And the funny thing is a lot of smarks, whatever you want to call them, everybody's been talking about how AJ Styles, when he's come through, he's done nothing but lost. And John Cena mentioning that, knowing that the IWC or Internet Wrestling Community has mentioned this. He's done nothing but lost. They're wasting AJ's talent. I like how they used that in the program. I like how AJ Styles used the fact that John Cena buries people and things like that, and just using these real topics that we as watchers or we as fans and people that are passionate about this discuss. They included that in that segment. Thought it was great.
No, that was just the pulling back of that curtain, and I'm what you would call a member of the IWC, and I think we went over this last week where, I'm on the forums and I like the insider, the dirt sheets and all that good stuff. Pulling back that curtain when he mentioned the shovel and mentioned you bury guys like me. I mean, that's great. I mean, in a sense, it was CM Punk like when he sat there cross-legged and said, John, I don't hate you. I hate this idea that you're the best, because you're not the best. And there was echoes of that with what AJ Styles was saying. And not to dwell too long on that, but I mean, it does bear repeating that promo alone arguably highlighted of Raw last night, just beginning to end. One other thing that really, two things that kind of jumped out at me too. The Pull It Club, that was pretty funny. That, kind of expected from John Cena, a sophomore masturbation joke. I mean, it is what it is. But it's John Cena at his best, John Cena at his worst, And I think he fired a shot across the bow at Roman. I think he did.
When he said you couldn't beat Roman, and now you're messing with me. You don't know who you're messing with. That was a shot at Roman. That's how I saw it. Whether that's a seed being planted or not, who knows?
Well, we know what the rumors are. Well, we've discussed the rumors in terms of Cena going to SmackDown and it goes live, and Roman staying on Raw, and that's the feud that they're building for. And I think if that's the case, and these are the seeds that they're kind of planning, that's pretty cool. So next is the Enzo and Cass match against the Vaudevillains, which PSA here. If you haven't got a chance to watch Raw, first of all, why are you listening to a Raw spoiler cast for all intents and purposes? But second of all, Hulu. There's only one word to describe you.
Hulu? You're saying Hulu?
Hulu, that voodoo, that Zulu done did. Sorry. I had nothing. No, but there's only one word to describe you.
One word.
And I'm going to spell it out for you. SAWFT.
Soft.
Because why, to quote The Rock, in the bluest of blue hells would you take out Enzo and Cass's match from your 90-minute segment? Honestly, I'm at a loss for words.
It was one of my favorite spots on the show.
Yeah, definitely. And again, all biases aside, and you're going to hear us say that a lot when it comes to Enzo and Cass, because if you didn't know, now you know. We're big marks for Enzo and Cass. I mean, come on, we named the podcast the Realest guys. Let's be honest here. It was a great segment. I loved, before we even get anywhere into the match, I loved Cass and Enzo both paraphrasing and quoting Muhammad Ali as they walked down the ramp. I thought it was a great sign of respect. And just in general, what WWE did for Muhammad Ali, those video packages, I was really impressed with the fact that they didn't make it about themselves. They made it about Ali. And, so rest in peace to the greatest of all time. Enzo doing what he does on the mic as he normally does. We go to the match, and I mean, I don't know about you, and I don't know what you took away from the ending, but Big Cass going a little crazy there at the end, molly-whopping the hell out of, was it Simon Gotch, I think it was, in the corner. I loved it. I loved that character progression, and then I loved Enzo's face when he saw what Cass was doing. I was like, oh, that's just perfect character progression.
Oh yeah.
What I gained from that was maybe Enzo's a little scared of Cass. Maybe this is Vince McMahon thinking, hey, they're over. Cass went over after Enzo unfortunately got hurt. Maybe teasing already a breakup. What do you think?
I don't think they're going to break up. I think it's too soon. I do know that there was, when they replicated this spot where he got his concussion, that whole thing again, Cass just snaps, gets the disqualification. I think it was a great progression in their relationship. Mm-hmm. I think it was an awesome aspect where Enzo looking at Cass like, holy smokes, you just, took out these guys for me. There was, I hear some rumblings here and there that, Enzo was looking at Cass like, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this over and over again? Cause us disqualifications? I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's, kind of like a big brother to a younger brother, kind of just that protective aspect. If you go back to NXT also, Enzo didn't always really do much in the ring. Yeah. But they complemented each other within the tag division. And so we both know that Big Cass is going to...
He's going to be the breakout.
He's going to be breakout. Me personally, I think Enzo is going to be phenomenal on his own. I think he's going to be great. He would even be great, say if the wrestling aspect doesn't work out, he would be a great manager.
Oh, he'd be fantastic.
And so we know that they're going to split eventually. But I think right now it's just I think they're developing together. They haven't really been up long enough on the main roster, but it's going to happen. Yeah. And but I loved when Cass went crazy.
Yeah, it was great. Like I said, great character progression.
Yep.
speaking of character progression, somebody who's been stuck in perpetuity, or pretty much somebody who's been stuck with the same character for I don't know how long. Alberto Del Rio has a match with Sami Zayn. I mean, I honestly, I know it's tied to one of the bigger storylines, Money in the Bank match, but I could care less about the match.
I'm really looking forward to Money in the Bank, but it's very difficult for me to even get into Alberto Del Rio's matches. Nothing against him; the guy can wrestle.
Yeah.
But it's just his character's stale.
I think he's just a charisma vacuum. In all honesty, I don't think he projects, big time character. I think he's a great hand in the ring. He's not that bad on the mic. I just can't get into the character.
Yeah. It's dull.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of over at ADR. Somebody who I'm not over, Kevin Owens is still bae.
Who won that match between?
ADR.
Okay.
That was where he smashed his head on the ring post.
Oh yeah. I gotcha. Sorry.
But like I said, somebody who I am super into the character. Kevin Owens has a match against Dean Ambrose again, and Kevin Owens does not win again against Dean Ambrose again.
Can you say again?
Maybe later. I'll say it again.
Again.
See what I do there.
Gotcha.
No, but actually, it's funny because I say again. I wonder if they're ever going to acknowledge the fact that Kevin Owens, I don't think, has ever beaten Dean Ambrose one-on-one yet. And they've wrestled a good few times, and each time, KO has lost. Or if they're in a multi-man situation, KO has been pinned by Dean Ambrose. I just find that a little funny, little touch. I don't know if that's necessarily a thing or will be a thing, but that'd be interesting to kind of follow if that continues, especially when we talk about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn locked in this battle to the end of times, going back and forth. I think that'd be funny if Dean Ambrose gets brought into that. So, I don't know. You already know I love this match. Kevin Owens was involved. I mean, automatic A+ for me. 5-star, all that good stuff. All joking aside, it was a good match. Great back and forth action. Like I said, Dean Ambrose takes the win. I mean, it was a good match.
That's one person I think is also kind of struggling right now. He's kind of stagnant. Is Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
I really like him. There's a lot of people more down on him than me, but I'm ready to see from Dean Ambrose the serious crazy side, rather than this goofy crazy that he's been doing. So I'm looking forward to where he's going to be in a month or so. Hopefully they kind of pull that serious side out of him again, and I look forward to that because I like Dean Ambrose.
I mean he's moving away from that cartoony crazy, and like you said, going into that more serious crazy, which will be pretty cool. Almost Brian Pillman-esque, let's say.
We can hope.
Loose cannon. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So. Moving right along here, and I'm gonna sound really bad, but we had another women's segment that I can do without. I'm really disappointed with the way the WWE has handled the women's division really since WrestleMania. They hyped it up with the women's championship, and I don't know. I'm not connecting with these characters. Charlotte gives that big promo last week about her dad, and now she's reneging on all that.
Yeah, she's like backtracking. Makes no sense. I'm sorry, Dad. I still want to have Christmases with you,
but
and all this
stay the
stuff.
hell away from my matches.
Yeah.
God,
whatever.
All right. So I guess the less said about that, the better. I mean,
I would agree.
Alrighty. So moving right along, we have the continuation of the greatest storyline. just the greatest storyline currently in the WWE today. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Best feud of all time. Bigger than Stone Cold and The Rock. Bigger than WWE or WWF at the time and WCW.
Where's the cricket noises when you need it?
Listen, you and I both know that Golden Truth and Breezango is taking the world by storm. You don't believe me? Check the Twitter hashtags. Hashtag Aerogigantic. Alright? That's the highlight of that was the highlight of Raw. Nothing else mattered. You have a grown man shaving another grown man's back while they're discussing the merits of being aerogigantic. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You know, the ability to be a giant arrow cutting through the air. Tell me what's better than that.
Where do I start? No, it was cool, man. I think it's perfect for these guys. It was a funny segment for sure.
Well, I mean, again, it's just good to have, you know, characters doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and again, wrestling is at its best when it doesn't take itself seriously, and that's clearly what it's done in the storyline.
Yeah.
So, R-Truth and Tyler Breeze have a quick little match. Ends in no contest because wasn't it that the Fandango and Goldust feuding outside? They rolled into the ring or something like that.
Yeah, it was a silly finish, but
it was a great cool down between that and the Divas segment, which again, unfortunately, the women's division is getting relegated to a cool down session, but that was a good cool down between Ambrose Owens into our main event, which was the Club, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson going up against Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, otherwise known as the New Day. Which, I mean, realistically, that match was just phenomenal. No pun intended again. I really like just the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. The back and forth action. I can't think of the word where you interlock with people. Yeah, you want to help me out here, really?
yeah, when you interlock with people.
Yeah, the interlocking personalities that were in that match. Chemistry. That's what it was. The chemistry. You know, interlocking with people.
I gotcha.
But just the chemistry that the teams had, and the back and forth. I mean, the action was great. It was high pace. I loved Kofi snapping at the beginning of the match after Xavier got hit with the Styles Clash outside, and had to be taken to the back. Just fantastic match, beginning to end.
They did something that was unexpected for me. Xavier Woods got taken out in the beginning. They brought him to the back, and then it was 2-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
Normally,
what were you thinking?
I was thinking that they were going to do what they normally do and bring out John Cena and have a 3-on-3, make it even sort of match. But they didn't.
Yep.
And I loved it.
It was great.
I thought it was awesome. The fact that they did something that was different from what I was going to think made the match that much better.
Well, between like I said earlier, when you have the characters and when wrestling doesn't take itself too seriously, and when they can genuinely throw a curveball or swerve, watch Swerve Season 2 on the WWE Network, there's your plug. When they can swerve the audience the way they did. Because I'm with you, I was fully expecting John Cena to come out there and be the third man like Hogan back in '96 or whatever it was. I don't think it was that late, but it was great. And really, the fact that they not just let the match continue as a 3-on-2 match, but the fact that that it led to a clean finish, Kofi getting pinned clean in the middle of the ring, and after that, Cena comes out. So there's no shenanigans in the middle of the match. That is a legitimate victory. Granted, 3-on-2, but a legitimate pinfall victory by AJ Styles on a former Intercontinental Champion, on a former U.S. Champion, on the current 1/2 or 1/3 of the Tag Team Champions. Legitimate pin, middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and then before the beatdown ensues, that's when John Cena comes out. What that tells me is WWE legitimately believes in AJ Styles, that they're gonna give him that. They're going to give AJ the clean win on Raw in the main event and then have Cena interrupt. I mean, I beginning to end, I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
So, then the night ends. There was a dark match after the lights went off. Roman Reigns and John Cena in a tag match against Seth Rollins and Sheamus. I don't know who won. I just know that was there. I just figured, Sheamus wasn't on Raw. Rollins wasn't on Raw. Roman wasn't on Raw. I figured we'd I just throw that out there. Speaking of Roman, one thing we forgot. So we had the Rollins promo earlier in the night, and we had the mirror image with the Roman promo. Pretty much the same thing. It was the story about the title instead of in Rollins' eyes, through Roman's eyes. Honestly, I know Roman's the champ. He's supposed to be the good guy. Didn't really do anything for me. So I'll ask again the same way I asked, why are we cheering Rollins? I mean, Bo and Rollins. Roman didn't give me a reason to cheer for him. Why are we cheering Roman?
I'll give you the same answer, just shorter than last. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I am a huge Roman Reigns fan. I've been waiting for a legitimate heel turn for what seems like for forever. And I think he would do a great job as a heel. Not a lot of talking, just straight kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's when he was at his best in the show.
Yeah, and that was that's how it should be. But we'll see. Again, this brand split's coming up. I think there's going to be a lot of change up, a lot of mix up. I know last week I think
couple of shows.
I think there's going to be a great opportunity. I think last week I said that the draft was the 18th or 19th, but the draft is actually going to take place Monday, July 11th episode of Raw.
Okay.
And then SmackDown's first live show is going to be on the 19th of July. So
it'll be a week difference between. So the draft's on the 11th. Then they're going to pre-record Thursday Night SmackDown on the 12th. And then on the 19th would be the first episode of the live show in the
correct
SmackDown.
Right.
Okay.
I think last week I misstated that. So
fair enough.
I want to correct that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with the brand split. I think there's we're going to see a lot. I think we're just I think a lot of it's kind of waiting around with these top names to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
But I think that concludes Raw.
Yeah.
Raw show. What are we looking at? Closing in on the end of the show. Anything else that you wanted to discuss?
No, I mean we'll be back. First of all, I want to thank you guys for following us, hitting that follow button on Twitter at Realest Guys PC. We've seen the love this week, so I appreciate that, and I hope you guys not only enjoyed the first episode, you guys sitting here as we wrap up the second episode, enjoyed us here again today. Be sure to follow us, like I said, on Twitter at Realest Guys PC. You can follow me personally at Reek and Wolverine. You can follow Josh Too Good Crocker at
Josh Crocker _.
And find us on Facebook. And I think it's right now, what is it? Facebook.com/
Realest Guys
PC.
Yep.
Okay. So you can find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/ Realest Guys PC. Send us some emails at info@realestguyspodcast.com.
Yeah.
We'll answer any questions you got. Maybe read some feedback here. As we get more and more comfortable in this. Like we said, we're just two guys from Austin. Just trying to drum up some interest here. With that being said, peace out. We'll be back next week, episode 3, with our projections and predictions for Money in the Bank. You guys take care of yourselves.